Welcome to the deep dive, and this one began with a loop, and as an ex-drummer, this is where quite a few songs start for me. If it's not with a chordal or melodic idea, it'll be a groove, and this one is a sort of Cuban thing that I found here in the keyboard, and then started writing around it. So here we are right at the beginning when I'm just trying to put some ideas down. Often, if I get a loop, I'll put it on the drum machine if that's been the source of it, or in this case, it was something I just found already in the keyboard. Then I'll try and get some sort of loop, or we'll cut up a loop that feels like a good length, and then start mucking around with it. And it's fairly simple chords. As you know, the verse is all what Brown would call a one-chord Joe, and there's a couple of songs maybe on this record that are focused around the one chord. But so when you leave it, it's quite an important moment. So you need to make sure why you're leaving it and where you're going and how that fits together. And I think this song started coming together when we muted everything on the choruses. So it's in A flat, which one of my favorite keys, but although difficult sometimes to sing. Will rise so, yeah, chord will rise and fall is what I used to say. Got the healer's birthday cake, got the real, we got the cake, got the ladder, we got the snake. My body begins to ache, but the chord will rise and fall. Yeah, there was a little vocal motif right at the beginning, which I'd sort of forgotten about. Maybe I'll bring it back in live, but here it is. The chord will rise and fall. Oh, my bones. Oh, my bones. The healer's birthday cake. Got the real, we got the cake. Got the ladder, we got the snake. My body begins to ache, but the chord will rise and fall. Of all the records I've done, this has been much the most ready by the time the band came, because I kept on sort of putting the band recording session back because I wanted to have songs that were with complete lyrics that were sort of formed, if you like, and recognizable for what they were. And I think we proved much more efficient that way, whereas often in the past, I've had chorus lines, I've had some sense of a verse here or there, but it's not been as focused and defined by the time the band get there. So that was a real advantage this time, I think. And in this case, I was working with Ollie Jacobs, just preparing for the band sessions, and this is how far we got with it. You put your hand up, you make your bid. You got your pictures all laid out on the grid. Dug in the garden in the softest ground. Buried everything that you never. Yeah, I always like those big downbeats. Will rise while the pillars all fall. We got the healer and the birthday cake. We got the wreathing and we got the fake. We got the ladder, look, there is the snake. How my body begins to wake, and the chord will rise while the pillars all fall. So I think it's about judgment and personal judgment too. Got the money going up your nose. You got the data, don't control where it goes. What you have left is getting down to the bone. Your only memories on your mobile phone. And the chord will rise. Yeah, I was talking about the memory being wiped, except for the phone. Out of this sentence, the ball and the claw. In all these pronouncements, I can make out the voice of the law. So it's legal imagery, the ball and the claw. All our lives are on sale, and the balls are drifting further apart. Recovery cannot fail. One of the things that interested me a lot with evidence is that there have been a lot of scientific examinations of how reliable memory is and whether you can implant false memories. And I think we have limited capacity for memory, and then we paint it. So probably it's a very fluid thing, memory. It's not a reliable thing that we should really base our legal system on. But that's the way things are. I think we're at this sort of interesting digital transition where actually the digital memory is trusted better, more than the human memory. And of course the digital memory can be faked just as the human memory can be manipulated. So these are areas of, I think, that are under investigation at the moment. And there is some sense, I think, in my own life that when I'm trying to remember when I was super young, there are one or two photos that I remember, and I build a picture of what my youth was, how it was to be that baby sitting under the apple tree in the basin. And I'm not sure really if it's my imagination working on what is stored in that photograph, or whether it's how I felt and remembered that moment. And they're very distinct. And I think the justice system is always going to be plagued with those type of differences. Here's that same old loop. Let's turn it up a tiny bit. Yeah. Now, I'd started off a sliding bass in the demos, but Tony here takes that slide and makes it a nasty, growling weapon and turns it into something much better. Nice guitar. It's nice from the bass. Let's run on a bit where Manu's in as well. Great groove. So much as I like that, here we go. So I still had the same old groove going here. For me, this was a great moment when the band first started playing it and this groove really came to life. Okay, this is nice. This is when I think I come up with the end piano a bit earlier, but it's still working around the same groove, but taking it into a very different feel. Yeah, that piano section, I think, I had thought of as a bridge, but it ended up at the end, which I think is better. Okay, cool. Here we go to the bridge. Out of the sentence. So the strings are doing that, keeping the rhythm going. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, so we worked out the string part here too, and I think again we did 2 or 3 versions to get to that final place. Yeah, this is Eliza on the flute, who's a wonderful flute player, and although I really like this, it's said to me sort of like sharp detective music, so it was something very much of the 70s, whatever, and I think we're going to put it in one version, but as good as it is, and I really like it, it told the story, took it to a different place, so it's not in this final version of the mix. But that's another example of process, I think. But I hope it finds we'll do something with it. But it's good to hear it again. These are very old charts here, all out of date. But I change titles fairly regularly, so that caused immeasurable confusion, because this is probably one of the few musical projects with its own archaeology department. It's been going on so long, and it's the way we deal with that now is stick a number on it. So this track is actually 242, and I forgot where we got up to. There's 343 there. So there was a lot of ideas. So hopefully we've chosen the right ones.